This this is a project that we're going to get into, and not too long from now. What I did was bought a drafting board, and it was at like a junk shop, and it's got all the hardware and everything on the board, so you can sort of see it. But what I was thinking was, this drafting table has a really nice, smooth, hard surface. So it'd be great for, project working if it was the top of a workbench. So I'm looking at a lot of workbenches and I'm thinking, what I'll do is I'll make a workbench that's relatively small because, maybe sizes and everything. Hey everyone, and welcome to Coffee and Tools this week. Different job again this week. Santa brought me something over Christmas time a while back. It's sort of been in the background here, so you may or may not have been able to see it. It's the Craftsman compressor. It's an air compressor. It's a big one. I like it. But the issue is it came on a skid. And the skid wouldn't even be that bad, but the fact is the skid actually sort of takes up too much space. And when a compressor is running, there's a lot of vibration that comes down through. So if you get one of these, any kind of real decent sized compressors, you're going to need what they call vibration pads underneath the compressor. So I ordered some online, and I got, man, these smell cool. They smell like tires. So I got these little sandwich looking things, and they are vibration pad for such as the big compressor here. So what I want to do is I'm going to have to cut these up using product because they've got it sandwiched like they have. So what's happening is this black area here, if I take that out, I can actually see it when I'm drilling it out, and I'll be able to see the blue and say, okay, I've drilled down deep enough that I can stop there. And that finishes off is, now I'm going to show you one. Okay, and there's what happens. That's with a Fastener drill bit, which is a wood bit, and at just slow speed I was able to drill it through, and we got the area relieved. So now when I drill for the bolt hole itself, I can now get the bolt will go up inside here, and when the vibration pad is on the floor and the head of the bolt is up under here, it's not going to touch the floor. And that's sounds like a simple enough project, but it's funny how little things like this can get really complicated really quickly. And really all we're doing, and we only need 3, so that's sort of a good thing too. And how I did this was I actually cut this with a Fastener bit. So the next thing we'll do is let's go to the drill and get the 3 of them cut. I've got 3. 1, 2, and of course we've already got this one done. So we'll do 3. Let's go. Now as you can see, this is not that hard because, like I said, it's just it's a fairly soft material. And really center, in this case, just kind of wherever center, whatever looks good by eye is good enough, because the leg of the compressor is going to be sitting on the pad, so it's really not going to matter. So we're just going to cut this one. As soon as I saw blue, I stopped cutting. I obviously have at that point enough material that, we're there. So I'll even cut it this way. I don't know, this probably won't help. But I've got the gate and everything all set up on it. What I do here is I stop and take a look in and see if I can see that light. Teal? Teal. When we see teal, we know we've got enough rubber. Now. Okay. Oh yeah. And so that's the first part. And then of course I've got this horrendous mess to clean up now from the chunks of rubber that flew all over the place. Nasty stuff. But ideally, what we're going to be doing is we will Now we're going to punch a hole for the bolt, and then we'll put one of these like this under each of the, there's only 3 legs on this particular compressor, so we'll go back that way now. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sort of slide my table up here a little bit closer towards the camera, and see, now you can sort of get a little bit better look. And I've already taken one of the bolts out of the compressor that it was shipped with. And actually the bolts they ship it with even are decent. The problem is the skid, and it's really odd, so be warned. In the service manual it says from Sears, or excuse me, from Craftsman, if you run the compressor while it's on the skid, you void the warranty. Yeah, isn't that strange? So anyways, we will be running the compressor on these beautiful vibration pads once we get them installed. So let's get to the next issue, which is the bolt that came on these compressors. As soon as I find one, bolt for the compressor. Ah, there it is. Oops. Swig of coffee. Okay. There's the bolt. It's a 3/8 national course bolt in this case, but it comes with this really interesting washer. That washer will dig into wood, but it'll also dig into rubber. So I'm thinking maybe even go ahead and use the washer. It's cut with a square hole. And the other thing you want to check when you're doing something like this is take this. These used to be called carriage bolts. They're round headed, so they're kind of a little funny thing. So what I do is I put the carriage bolt top with the squareness on the top and lay it up until I line up the bottom, and I can even check with my finger, and I can feel the head of this bolt is actually below this rubber pad. So basically I want to securely make sure that this bolt is not sitting there on the floor when the compressor is running, you know, and digging through kind of thing. And like I said, so there's our Alright, so there's the top of the new monster compressor, Craftsman, yeah. And as we go down here, take a look, and there's the actual one of the vibration pads. I just kind of mounted the vibration pad on top of the skid so you can sort of take a good look at it, and you see how it's going in there. And I've used the same old bolt that came with them, and it's on a skid. But as soon as we finish the vibration pads, then we'll get her off the skids, and we'll get her up and be done with that, and move on to the next project. But okay, the compressor is now in the corner on the 3 pads, and the skid is off. How do you get the skid out from underneath the compressor? It's kind of like unloading a bomb. But we got it off, so I'm happy. And this cabinet wouldn't fit in here with the skid anyways, so it's kind of nice to get the skid out of there, get it on vibration pads, stuff it in. There's another sample. This is another, man, that smells cool. Smells like rubber. There's another one of the vibration pads. They're pretty hard material, so they don't really, they're not real flexible. But you don't want that anyways, because really the vibration is going to be the compressor sort of like running around. When you put this on, one of the things you're going to notice is the metal ring around the compressor. There's a couple ways to fix it. You want the ring to sort of sit this way across this pattern, so it sort of sits in nice and comfortable with the vibration pad. You don't want to turn the pad the wrong way and have these slots running the same as the feet. So that's going to give you actually more isolation from the floor. So that's just a little tip of the day, I guess. But hey, compressor's in place. We're ready to get back to work and do other things. Thanks, guys, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Coffee and Tools.